How's it going, everybody? Alongside TJ Calkins, Jay Sanin here for ATS, and it is the most exciting weekend of the year for sports bettors. It is Super Bowl time, TJ. Super Bowl 56, Rams and Bengals from SoFi Stadium. And we're going to focus on the prop markets for this game. And before we get into our prop picks, we're going to throw some prop picks back and forth throughout this video. Before we do that, TJ, let's talk a little bit of math, specifically the odds surrounding some of these props and kind of to educate the new bettors out there on what they should be looking at, what they should be avoiding when they look at some of these prop markets.
Yeah, so there are just terrible mathematical values out there on a lot of props, and it's our responsibility to weed through them. And I'm just going to give an example here on the type of thing you want to avoid. The first score, that's going to be a fairly popular prop bet. And for either team, if you pick either the Rams or Bengals to score a field goal, you're getting plus 400 both ways. Well, knowing that NFL drives at a field goal 14.8% of the time, that means 1 in 6.76 drives. We want to see close to plus 700 to get anything resembling true value there. For a safety, they're offering plus 4,500 for either team. That's a 1 in 1,000 event. You want to see plus 10,000, so you're not even getting half there. That's really rough. The Rams are plus 150 for a touchdown. The Bengals are plus 210. Touchdowns happen on 23% of NFL drives. That's 1 in 4.35. That means we need to see plus 400 or better. Again, especially with the Rams, we're not even getting half that. So beware those landmines, and we're going to now get to better options and ones that you should bet. We'll let Jay kick that off.
I will kick that off. And before I do that, I would like to also add, shop around at multiple sports books before you lock anything in so you can find the best price on anything you do bet on. Avoid the terrible mathematical situations, but don't make things worse on yourselves even when there is value out there by just accepting a bad line by using only one sports book. That is what I will add to the mathematical conversation. As far as the prop side of things, I will start things off, TJ, with the first quarter being the lowest scoring quarter of this Super Bowl. I've got it at plus 160. You look at the last 10 Super Bowls, 9 of them have seen 10 or fewer points. The first quarter, typically a situation where teams kind of feel each other out before the game opens up later in the contest. I think we see a similar situation, especially with the lack of Super Bowl experience on the Bengals side of things. I think we see both teams play a little conservatively coming out of the gate. I think we see the first quarter as the lowest scoring at plus money.
Yeah, I think that's super reasonable. Essentially, teams are approaching it like Derek Lewis approaches his fights. Just wait. So, yeah, I absolutely get it. And to piggyback on what you were saying, we definitely check out ats.io. We've got plenty of brand new offers for other sports books. If you only got one account, open another one. You're going to get a great sign-up bonus, and we'll help you get that. So, again, piggybacking on what you said, even on the same sports book, make sure you're getting the best line. So just one comparable line on Caesars. The first score of the game to be a Rams field goal is plus 400. But then if you look at Matt Gay to be the first scorer, it's plus 375. That's the exact same bet. So don't bet Matt Gay at plus 375. Bet the Rams field goal at plus 400. We're looking at now first player to score first. Of course, the kickers are attractive, but we're going to keep this to a higher payout, and we're going to look at positional players. The top scorers this season tied Joe Mixon and Cooper Kupp. They each had 16 touchdowns. On Cooper Kupp, you get plus 650. On Joe Mixon, you get plus 1,000. Even Jamar Chase is a worse figure than Mixon at plus 900, so you get value in Mixon. Looking at the Bengals, 3 players outside of Mixon and Chase had more than 2 touchdowns on the season. T. Higgins had 6. Tyler Boyd had 5, and CJ Uzoma had 5. Well, Higgins is plus 1,500. Boyd is plus 2,200. He's almost plus 2,500. We've already seen him score the first touchdown of a playoff game this year, just 3 weeks ago. Plus 2,500 on Uzoma. Him and Mixon are the values there. What do you got, Jay?
Next up, I'm going to go a little square on this one, TJ. I've got Odell Beckham to get into the end zone in this game. Anytime touchdown score, it is around plus 120. And you look at Beckham's progress since joining the Rams. It took him a little bit to get involved in the offense, but once he has, it's worked out very nicely for everybody involved. Got over 100 yards against a pretty stout Niners defense last week, and he has scored in 6 of his 11 games since joining the Rams so far. I think at plus money, it's worth a shot. I like it better than the Cup or Chase options, which are at slightly worse prices. I think all three of them have a perfectly good shot to get into the end zone. I'll take Beckham at a slightly better number than the other two.
Yeah, I love it. And it's not like he's breaking 70-yard touchdowns here to do it. He's getting goal line fades. He's getting a real high percentage end zone looks. So yeah, I absolutely love it, man. Let's see. A prop I absolutely love. So the prop is what occurs first, a sack or a touchdown. You have to lay minus 105 for a sack, minus 125 for a touchdown. It is almost as if the Rams front is not good. And it is almost as if Joe Burrow was not the most sacked quarterback in the league this year. He was sacked 51 times in the regular season. He has been sacked on plenty of scoring drives. So you know what? If he's sacked on a scoring drive, the sack occurred first. This is an insane value. I think sack should be minus 200 or more, but we only have to lay minus 105. I absolutely love that. There's only one I like better, and we will get to that in a bit. I'm going to jump into quarterbacks here for a minute. Burrow, for his first his first pass attempt to be a completion, you have to lay minus 200, but I like that. Burrow led the league this season at a 70.1% completion percentage. I think they're going to give him something quick and easy on the first throw, just to kind of get the offensive line assimilated to what the Rams pass rush is going to be like. So that minus 200 on the first pass attempt. On the other side, Stafford, he was great this season. They did huge things. Something flying under the radar. He led the league in interceptions. He had 18 of them. So we are getting plus 200 on Stafford to commit the first turnover. We're going to assume it's going to be an interception. Fumbles happen. They can happen from anyone, even Stafford. But Stafford threw interceptions at more frequent rate than anyone else in the league. Let's take that plus 200 for Stafford. Back to you, Jay.
TJ, I've got one more for you, and then the floor is all yours on the prop market front. I have got neither team to score on their opening drive, neither team to score a touchdown on their opening drive at minus 140. Like I said before, first quarter of Super Bowls, very low scoring, but I think that the pass rush will be at its best early in the game when they're not worn out by what these offenses can do. I mean, I think at the end of the game, they'll both be pretty shot. But I think the beginning of the game, we see both pass rushes come out. They make a couple of plays. They make things difficult. Neither of these quarterbacks have been in a Super Bowl before. We see a couple of inaccurate throws. I think we see a couple of punts to start out the Super Bowl, and we cash another prop there.
I like it, man. I'm absolutely with it. And as far as a lack of offense, I've got some unders for a running back here. So I think it's kind of flying under the radar that Darrell Henderson is almost certainly going to play in this game. He hasn't played in quite a while for the Rams. You know, Cam Akers came back. Henderson was forgotten. Well, not anymore. As a rusher, Akers has been brutally bad in these playoffs. His rushing lines were 17 for 55, 24 for 48, and 13 for 48. Now he's going to lose volume to Henderson. I mean, it doesn't matter how much. He's absolutely going to lose some volume. So his rushing yardage set at 63.5 yards. He hasn't hit that despite even having 24 carries in a game. 16.5 attempts. Again, the volume's going to go down. Sony Michel's still involved. God forbid they have a losing game script. Forget about it. He might not have double digits. And lastly, he's averaging 2.8 yards per carry. The prop for his first carry is 3.5 yards, over or under. all carries are the same. It could happen. It could go over, but when he's averaging 2.8 per tote and we're only laying -110 for under 3.5, I'm absolutely going to take that. Moving to receiving for a second. Or I'm sorry, I got one more rushing prop. It's Joe Burrow. His rushing prop is set at 11.5 yards. 19 games this season. He's carried the ball more than 3 times in just 4 of them, and he's gone over 11 yards in just 3 of them. 3 of 19 games this over is hit. So even if he may be under duress, I don't care. 3 of 19 is 3 of 19. Again, essentially an even money prop, under 11.5 rushing yards for Burrow. Real quick, 2 receiving props. Cooper Kupp averaging 8.5 catches per game on over 11 targets per game in the regular season. Those averages have carried over almost identically into the playoffs. His receptions prop set at 7.5. I like the over there. I think he gets 8 or more. On the Bengals side, with Jalen Ramsey likely to cover Jamar Chase on the majority of snaps, I think T. Higgins is probably in for another solid game. He's had 19 targets the last 2, had 96 yards, at least 96 yards in each game. And his prop is only set at 68.5 receiving yards. So I absolutely like the over there. And now, without further ado, the best prop on the slate. Which team will be charged a timeout first? Now, if you've watched the Rams this season, you know no coach in the league squanders timeouts and throws the challenge flag at the dumbest times more than Sean McVay. You only have to lay -120 for the Rams to be charged the first time out, and this is my absolute favorite prop play of this game. It is on such a dumb thing, but just watching McVay pulling your hair out all year long, it's finally going to come back and pay off for us. So yeah, -120 for the Rams to be charged the first time out.
That is the absolute perfect way to end a Super Bowl prop segment, is with who will call the first time out. And it actually making a ton of sense. TJ, you nailed it. Oh, man. Folks, I'm telling you, go to ats.io, get all of TJ's prop picks, get the written rationale behind all of them. You do not want to miss it, as you can see. For TJ Calkins, Jay Sanin here saying good luck on your Super Bowl 56 bets. We'll see you again soon.